Oh, that is so awesome. Thank you. Would you do me a favor, Yvonne? Don't put any of these. Yvonne.
Now, mind you, these are yellow roses because they represent friendship as opposed to love.
Well, what if I love yellow roses?
You're in good shape.
You know, do you notice the energy level of the room just kicked up? It's partly because of Jared and partly because everybody in here is getting a rose from the Rose Garden.
All right, yeah, we've got roses for everybody. So those that are cheap will use them over the weekend, and those that aren't so cheap will be inspired.
I was going to say, don't put this on Facebook because I'm going to give these to my wife later. Then you explain the yellow thing, and it's probably appropriate. So thanks, Jared. These are beautiful. You know what? I will determine the best female audience member in the room for the rest of the show, and I will present these to her.
Well, actually, you know, we're going to one-up you just a little bit because there is one particular lady in the audience we'd like to recognize. She's done a lot for this community. She's been very involved and given a lot back in a number of areas. And if you've ever got to meet her, and I know you have, she's got an amazing life story to tell. And she's also the first female president of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, Sally Harrison. So we've got this for you, Sally. Thank you. Yeah.
Jared is a genius. He'll be back next month and every month for Mesa Morning Live.
So I was collecting these roses yesterday, and a gentleman stopped me and said, "Boy, what did you do to get in so much trouble?" He goes, "You're out of it now." Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, how did the idea of a rose garden at MCC, how did that whole thing happen, and bring us up to date where we are now?
So we're in our 20th year. Basically, 20 years ago, the college had some architects come and develop a master plan for the institution. At the end of their study, they held a press conference, and they described MCC as a series of brown buildings and a sea of black asphalt that you happen to pass on your way to the State University. And that's all that made it to the papers. Not all the great stuff. We're now the third largest educational institution in the state of Arizona with approximately 44,000 students. And so there was a gentleman by the name of Milt Lee, who used to be the former president of the Mesa United Way and a member of the Mesa East Valley Rose Society, which is the largest and oldest rose society in the state of Arizona, shows up on the doorstep of the college president and says, "You know, we can't fix all your problems, but we can add a little color." And so it started as a little rose garden, and with the volunteers that you saw today that are on our Rose Garden board, and Leeward Brady, who's the chief landscape architect for the Arizona Department of Transportation, and stepped up and has designed the Rose Garden, and several others. Mary Lou was the curator of the roses. And through donations, this garden has now become the largest rose garden in the southwestern United States, 10,000 rose bushes, 1,000 different varieties, and it's ranked as one of the top 10 things to see and do in Mesa by TripAdvisor.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All because of a bad review. I love that.
Well, you know, that's the beauty of the rose, right? Because it's got thorns and it's no one really wants it, but through all of that, you get something beautiful.
That's very cool. All right, we're a little over time, so I'm going to ask you two quick questions. How can people get involved with the Rose Garden? Do you need any help? Do you need any volunteers?
Very much so. So during the months of January and February, every Saturday at 8:30 in the morning, we have asked volunteers to come from all around the community and practice on our roses in terms of pruning. We also offer individual instruction, and we provide some supplies, donuts, and coffee, and really could use the help. We have anywhere between 300 and 900 folks that come from across the state of Arizona to help prune the Rose Garden every year.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, and number two, what the heck? We did a little research on you. You hiked from rim to rim of the Grand Canyon, is that correct? And
Yeah.
what were you thinking?
I still thought I was 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rim to rim to rim in 16 hours, and I had to drag myself out of there. It wasn't pretty. But Dr. Pan, who's here, the president of the college, I said, I think I broke my hip and my leg. And he goes, you didn't break your hip and your leg. You're just fine. He goes, try some ibuprofen. So yeah, 44, I discovered ibuprofen. And it's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome. Oh, wait a few years. There's better stuff than that.
You think on a college campus I would know that, right?
Look out there. Half of them are under the influence right now. Well, Jared, thank you.
I got to say one more thing, Mark.
Okay.
We got Dr. Pan here, and it's just great that he is so involved in this community. Under his leadership, we've got not only a wonderful garden at the college, but Mesa Community College was recently ranked by the Aspen Institute out of Colorado as one of the top 150 community colleges in the country. That's out of 3,000 community colleges. And he's made that possible.
Thank you. Well, Jared, thanks for stopping off, talking about this. Thanks for such a cool thing you guys do. And he's looking for some of you to stop out on Saturday and help out. And thanks for bringing the roses. And I'll thank you for Sally for her nice little bouquet.
And if anyone wants to do a little more for the Rose Garden, on April 1st, we host an annual Rose Garden Tea. It's a fundraiser to support the Rose Garden on campus, and it's in the back, and there's information about sponsorship, so we'd love any participation there as well.
Very cool. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Jared Langkilde?
Thank you.
Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it, man.